Let me tell you about the time I bought a family-sized box of cereal that was on sale, only to realize I live alone and I'm allergic to gluten. Now that was a breakfast misadventure for the books. I mean, who doesn't love a good bargain, right? But there I was, standing in my kitchen, staring at this colossal box of cereal, wondering why I didn't just opt for my usual oatmeal. This got me thinking. How often do we get swept away by flashy deals and end up with things we don't need, or even worse, can't use? The grocery store can be a minefield of temptations, from those fancy, overpriced granolas to the alluring scent of freshly baked bread that somehow always leads to an unplanned detour to the bakery section. But fear not, my fellow shoppers, we're about to navigate this minefield together, so let's avoid these grocery shopping pitfalls and save some money with these 20 smart grocery hacks. Let's dive in. Tip number 1, don't underestimate the pennies. Small savings add up. You see, the secret to saving big isn't always about scoring huge discounts, it's about the little victories. Think of it this way, saving a few cents on a loaf of bread might not seem like much, but multiply that by the number of loaves you buy in a year and suddenly, you're looking at a pretty penny. Moving on to tip number 2, want versus need. It's crucial to distinguish between essential items and luxuries. Before tossing that jumbo bag of gourmet chocolate-covered almonds into your cart, pause for a moment. Is it a want or a need? If it's a want, maybe skip it this time. Your wallet will thank you later. Now, tip number 3, know the cheapest stores. Familiarize yourself with store prices. Not all grocery stores are priced equally, and sometimes the difference can be substantial. So, take some time to do a little reconnaissance. You might be surprised by how much you can save by switching stores. Next up, tip number 4, don't fall for packaging. Fancy packaging doesn't mean better quality. It's what's inside that counts, right? Just because a product is wrapped in a shiny, colorful package doesn't mean it's superior. Often you're just paying extra for the packaging. So, don't let those marketing tricks fool you. Finally, tip number 5, avoid single-use items. Opt for reusable items instead. Single-use items can be a major money sink. Sure, disposable plates might save you some time on cleaning, but in the long run, they're going to cost you more. So, invest in some good quality, reusable items. They'll pay for themselves over time. And there you have it, the first 5 tips to save big on every grocery shopping trip. So, the next time you're navigating those grocery store aisles, keep these tips in mind. You'll be amazed at how quickly the savings can add up. Remember, a penny saved is a penny earned. Moving on to tip number 6, shop once a week. It's not just about saving on gas, though that's a plus. It's about reducing those impulse purchases that we're all guilty of. You know, those little extras that somehow jump into your cart when you're just running in for one thing. By planning ahead and shopping once a week, you're less likely to be swayed by those cheeky, unplanned additions. Next up, tip number 7, portion things correctly. How many times have you thrown out half a loaf of bread because it went stale? Or found a forgotten bag of salad in the back of the fridge, now a sad, soggy mess? By portioning your food correctly, you can avoid this wastage. A little bit of planning goes a long way in saving both food and money. Now let's talk about technology. Tip number 8 is use grocery store apps. These apps are a goldmine of savings. They offer discounts, deals, and even cash back. So take a minute, download your favorite store's app, and start reaping the rewards. And no, they didn't pay me to say that. Moving on, tip number 9, avoid expensive stores. We all love a fancy store with its beautiful displays and artisanal products, but let's face it, they're not always the best value for money. Instead, look for stores that offer good quality at affordable prices. Remember, you're buying groceries, not ambiance. Finally, tip number 10, buy in bulk. This is especially true for non-perishable items. If you have the space, buying in bulk is usually more economical. Plus, it means fewer trips to the store. But remember, buying a year's supply of chocolate because it's on sale might not be the smartest move. Unless it's dark chocolate, that stuff's practically health food, right? And there you have it, 5 more smart grocery hacks to help you save big on your shopping trips. Remember, bulk buying is your friend, not a hoarding problem. Scene script. Let's get into tip number 11, generic over name brand. You may love your name brand cereal, but have you ever given the store brand a try? More often than not, generic products are of similar quality but at a fraction of the cost. Don't let the fancy packaging fool you, it's what's inside that matters. Moving on to tip number 12, eat less meat. Now don't get us wrong, we're not suggesting you go vegan overnight, but reducing your meat consumption can significantly lower your grocery bill. Plus, it's a healthier choice for most. So why not give Meatless Mondays a try? Which brings us to our 13th tip, don't buy trimmed meats. If you're not ready to cut back on meat entirely, consider buying untrimmed cuts and doing the work yourself. A little extra time in the kitchen could save you a whole lot of cash in the long run. Now let's talk about tip number 14. Opt for less desirable meat cuts. Sure, filet mignon is delicious, but so is a well-cooked chuck roast. These less glamorous cuts are often cheaper and just as nutritious. So, roll up your sleeves, dust off that slow cooker, and impress your family with a budget-friendly gourmet meal. Finally, tip number 15. Buy frozen fruits. Fresh is best, right? Well, not necessarily. Frozen fruits are usually picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, preserving their nutrients. They're perfect for smoothies, baking, or just a quick snack. And the best part, they're often cheaper and definitely last longer than their fresh counterparts. Who knew frozen fruits could be a money saver, right? Now, for tip number 16, freeze before they go bad. Ever had to throw away a bunch of bananas because they ripened all at once? Well, next time, just pop them in the freezer. They'll be perfect for smoothies or banana bread. Waste not, want not, right? Moving on to tip 17, refrigerate produce. It might seem basic, but properly storing your fruits and veggies can significantly extend their shelf life. So, no more wilted lettuce or squishy tomatoes, cool, isn't it? Tip 18 is all about the plastic. Pay with a credit card. Now, I'm not suggesting a shopping spree, but if your credit card offers cashback or rewards for grocery purchases, why not take advantage? Just remember, the key is to pay it off in full each month. Now, tip 19 might seem counterintuitive. Invest in healthy foods. Yes, they can be a bit pricier, but think about it. Eating healthier now can save you a ton in future medical bills. Plus, you'll feel fantastic. Win-win, right? And finally, tip number 20. This one's a bit tongue-in-cheek. Limit family size. Fewer mouths to feed means lower grocery bills. Now, I'm not suggesting you start trading in your kids, but perhaps reconsider that urge to adopt another pet. So, limiting family size might be controversial, but hey, it's just a suggestion. To recap, we've just explored 20 smart grocery hacks to help you save big on every shopping trip. From distinguishing wants versus needs, to buying in bulk using grocery store apps, and opting for less desirable meat cuts, these tips are surefire ways to keep your wallet heavy and your shopping cart lighter. So next time you go grocery shopping, remember these tips and save your hard-earned money. Or you might end up like me with a family-sized box of cereal that you can't eat. And if you found these tips useful, don't forget to subscribe. We promise no gluten-filled cereal boxes here.